Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new Tesla update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over Tesla stock. Let's go over the market. Let's talk about what is happening to the market, what is happening to Tesla stock, what I personally foresee moving forward and all of that good stuff. And I have to say, it feels like there's something brewing and I'm not sure if I like it. But yeah, let's jump into it. If you enjoy, don't forget to hit that like button. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. And of course, my membership section is live. That link is down below. If you're interested, for just $3 a month, you get access to all my intraday thoughts, post updates, technical analysis, options flow sometimes as well on Tesla and sometimes other stocks as well. Just $3 a month, or for $5, access to all of that. And on top of that, you also get access to NVIDIA daily updates as well. But jumping into it, Tesla, unfortunately, closing the day down 0.72%, closing at just above $257.5 per share, down a little bit more after hours off of a pretty weak reaction on Microsoft earnings beat. And honestly, it seems like Meta beat as well, but a pretty negative reaction from the market on Meta, even though it seemingly beat earnings. Maybe the guidance is bad. I'm not really sure, honestly, what's happening with that. But yeah, Tesla down a little bit more, probably in tandem with that, roughly. Now, what is happening with the stock, right? Like, my goodness, like, what the hell's going on, right? Like, are we going back up, or are we just, is it time to go down now? Like, what's going on? So I'll give you my thoughts moving forward. Let's start off with the 1 hour chart as per usual. So what is the 1 hour chart telling me? Well, like I talked about with my bands, we need to make a move up sooner than later. And we actually did that. We actually did make that move up in the first hour. We had a nice little push up, nice little consolidation. Honestly, this actually could have been a nice little small, almost like an intraday bull flag. If I go to the 15-minute chart, could be a nice little bull flag action here. And honestly, we easily could have pushed up even higher, right? If I go back to this here, right? Nice little bull flag, nice little consolidation, and then a push up higher. Could have been good. Unfortunately, just because it's called a bull flag or a bear flag, it doesn't mean it has to play out in a bull fashion or in a bear fashion. That's just implying the fact that it's a flag off of a bullish move or off of a bearish move. Now, obviously, they usually play out in that fashion, but there's absolutely no guarantee whatsoever, and I've said that many times before. So this is a pretty good example of that, right? It does not have to, but regardless, point is we sold off, right? We sold off, and there's a few things that I don't like, right? Now, this is what I was telling my members. I was telling my members this, how, the band is still on the 1 hour green, right? The band is still green, whether it was this morning, whether it's even on today's close, the band of the 1 hour is still green. Now, if this band turns red, I'll be pretty convinced that the move down is going to start. But based on just strictly the 1 hour chart, there is still some more room to fall before things can get scary, I guess is what I'm trying to say. For instance, honestly, even just losing the double bottom that we had recently on the 1 hour chart at around 255 to 256, just losing that range right there, that $1 range, honestly, it could be, that nail in the coffin, right? That definitely could be that nail in the coffin to really, truly begin this downtrend, because then the band will most likely also finally turn red. And well, let's just zoom out and see what happens with this band and how accurate it's been, for instance, right? Now, obviously, there are some false signals, like you had this little small red turn over here, right? So it's not perfect by any means. I actually have a second one that I started using as well, which is a little bit slower, but it's a bit more meaningful. But it's obviously just slower. So this is like a more aggressive one, right? But for instance, let's say, okay, you got stopped out, then you entered back in. And let's say your strategy is just buy on a green band, sell on a red band. Yeah, you definitely took actually, no, you still technically are up here, arguably, because you are still technically up a few dollars, not too bad. But if you entered here, look at this, look how it's just green the whole time, all the way up to here, and then it's red the whole time, all the way down until pretty much earnings, right? Obviously, earnings is a massive question mark. And like I said, I'm just bringing this up as an example, right? Same idea here, right? If this thing turns red, like, no, yeah, of course this could be a false signal. Nothing is perfect, nothing is guaranteed, but it's definitely just not ideal. It's not very convincing, is what I'm trying to say, right? So that's kind of what I'm waiting for in the 1 hour. I'm waiting for a bit more of a direction on the 1 hour, right? Again, really, do we lose 255 to 256, or do we break above and hold, more importantly, above 260 to 263, right? Which we tried to do today, but we just couldn't get anything really convincing. And this is what I was telling my members, right? I made a post to my members saying how, if I actually zoom down a little bit over here, this one here, despite the 1 hour still showing, this was over an hour ago, despite the 1 hour still showing signs of bullishness, the daily is a bit more concerning to me. The reason is simply we closed below 260 to 263 yesterday, right? Which we did. Now you see us coming back into it from under, right? So essentially we're coming back into it, and usually when you close below a support level, so in this case yesterday we closed below 260, 263, and we're coming back into it from the bottom to up now, I naturally will assume we're going back into it as a resistance test now. And unfortunately, so far based on today's price action, it seems to be back as a resistance. And that's essentially what I was meaning with this, right? We are having issues. I see we're coming back into it from under. And now we're having issues clearing this range. I need to see stronger follow through and a daily close above 263. The 1 hour is still suggesting this is possible though. We just need better confirmation. And unfortunately, the picture isn't super clear right now, right? And it isn't, right? And this is why you need those confirmations. Like Meta is just tanking and Microsoft is barely holding any of its gains right now. So this market, like I said, it's very concerning. And I'll bring up another reason as to why that is really soon. But just again, strictly off Tesla, looking back to the daily chart, you can see it's so simple. Like it's just, I mean, I think it's clear as day. I mean, I'm just looking at this and I'm like, man, this is just pretty obvious. But because again, like let's just take a look at it. Just again, no emotion, no bias, nothing. Massive area of resistance here, right? We came out to this area, bam, resistance. Pretty much the exact same area, bam, resistance. And now what do? We actually did go above it. But remember how I said, watch out. This could be a liquidity trap. Go back to the day that we had this candle. Actually, before we even broke above, I think this was on Thursday last week. I'm pretty sure that was the video. I specifically mentioned, it was either Thursday or Friday. I specifically mentioned, watch out for this to be a liquidity trap. I think it was actually Friday. Watch for the liquidity trap. That's exactly what happened so far. We did push above. We did close above on Friday's candle, and we actually pushed above that 275 level on Monday. But we just collapsed back under, and we've been selling off ever since. Because Tesla at the end of the day is pretty damn overbought, like I mentioned before. If you go over to the bands on the daily, back here, extremely overbought. And I remember still saying, hey, if you bought at 272, congratulations, you just top ticked the stock, right? So you want to be really careful with these kind of scenarios, right? But why is this important, and what am I trying to get at, right? Well, again, massive area resistance, and we actually closed above. This was showing promising signs, but we were also close to the top of the daily channel, right? Massive channel. We're pretty much near the top, and we were exceptionally overbought off of a massive earnings pump. It's still a little bit eyebrow raising. So now what happened? We ended up selling off on Monday. We held at a pretty okay level, right? But the issue is the fact that the day after on Tuesday, we continued selling off, and now we closed below this level. This level right here that constantly acted as a resistance, which technically could have acted as a support here, didn't. We collapsed back under on yesterday's candle. And what does that mean now moving forward? Well, simply put, my goodness, how many things did I do? Let me just delete the old-fashioned way here. What do we do? Today's candle, we're pretty much coming back up into it from the bottom as now seemingly resistance. And I don't like that. I don't like to see that, right? I don't want to see this turn back into resistance. That's not good. That's not what you want to be seeing. This is concerning to me, right? You need Tesla to close above 260 to 263, ideally 263 on the daily. Like you need it to close back above that, or else this really becomes a bear trap, or sorry, a bull trap. And the bearish momentum can start seeping in slowly. And especially, again, like I said, on the 1 hour, if this band starts turning red, that's just another check mark, another, addition of ammunition, essentially, if you will, for the bears to use for their bearish thesis. So you want to be losing, or you don't want to be losing these things. Like Tesla needs to be holding these levels, and we're not. That's the bad part. So watch for these levels moving forward. With these sell-offs happening post-market on the earnings, I can't imagine this will help. And the other thing I want to mention that's also giving me some, eyebrow-raising concerns, if you will, to the market is one of which is the VIX. The VIX is very concerning for me here. Why is the VIX concerning? Because, well, first of all, it's sitting on a green band, right? And it's sitting on this green band. The VIX is looking a little bit strong. The issue also is the fact that it's just holding pretty consistently in this kind of 19 to now even the 20 range. Like, why is it holding up here for so long? Like, it shouldn't be up here for this long. Like, it should have been lower, but it's not. Why is it not lower? I don't like that. Like, this is concerning. If the VIX, you can see like this level of resistance on the VIX around, 20 and a half. If it gets above 20 and a half, hey, that could be bad. Watch for these situations to unfold potentially, as the market may continue a sell-off as we enter closer and closer to elections and a lot of earnings. Apple earnings tomorrow. That could be concerning, right? If Apple's earnings misses, hey, that's not good. So I'm just kind of giving you this overall general idea that I have around the market, right? QQQ, unironically, it still actually doesn't look that bad. Shockingly, somehow. SPY though, I can't say the same for SPY. I don't think SPY looks all that amazing, breaking down from this rising wedge. Still green band, but if SPY loses 21 EMA, watch out below. So just, again, look out for these things, right? Look out for these things. Obviously, I'm not trying to be a bear and be like one of those typical, hey, the world's about to fall apart, hope you're ready. No, I'm not saying that whatsoever. But at the very least, a small correction might be in store for us here. Just watch for those levels, watch for the 21 EMA on the indices to see if we close below that or not. And again, if Tesla does go down below, if Tesla does finally begin its correction, like I said many times, if you've been following my videos, I'll just reiterate it one more time. You know, it's going to be pretty simply put back down, in my opinion. Honestly, I strongly believe at the very least the low 240s. Ideally, I'd be looking for the mid 230s. Worst case scenario, in my opinion, is about the mid 220s. If we lose the mid 220s, Tesla's extremely bearish in my opinion. Tesla pretty much cannot lose the mid 220s. If that ever happens, I think Tesla turns into an extremely bearish stock. Honestly, even losing 230s is bad, but 220s is the nail in the coffin in my opinion. If we ever lose 220s, very bearish, very concerning, and unironically, a move back down into the numbers that start with the 1 in front of it will be back in the cards. So you really don't want it to lose that level. So just watch for that, right? So we'll see how it plays out. Elections coming up. Who the hell knows at this point, to be completely honest. But strictly off technicals, it's getting weak. And all it needs is one more push down. And I do think Tesla's going to get a lot weaker. And honestly, the market as a whole can potentially get decently weaker, especially with the VIX being a little bit suspicious here. So yeah, watch for that moving forward. Again, if we do reclaim 260 to 263, if we close a daily candle above 263, I do believe about high 270s to about 280 is still in the play. So anyways, watch for those levels, watch for those supports and resistances. And yeah, let's just see what happens. But thank you so much for watching. See you for the next one. Peace.